Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV tonight. It's the Alive Church Xfinity Series, Live Fully Alive. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Adam the Bulldog Newton, and we are live at Daytona. I mean, it don't get any better than Daytona, Adam.
No, it doesn't. The crown jewel of racing. We'll see what these guys got up their sleeve tonight.
Yeah, we'll see who's going to be crowned here. You think about this track, Adam. I mean, you kind of love this place. What are the keys here, especially when we consider this league in particular? What are you thinking about this race? A 90-lap event.
Fast and friends. You got to have friends, and you got to be friendly with the throttle. Try to get up front and try to keep your nose clean. There's not probably going to be much three-wide racing unless somebody gets kind of frisky, but keep your nose clean and be there at the end.
Well, those are all great points, but one you didn't bring up, pitting, Adam. How important is it here?
Oh, pitting is absolutely crucial. If you cannot get on pit road, that is a big thing to watch out for tonight. And not even just getting into pit road itself, pit stall with the new tire combination. When you go to stop in your stall, you're going to slide through unless you stop early.
Yeah, I mean, and getting on and off with several people involved, you're generally only as good as your weakest link if, say, you're in with three guys or something to that effect. So that's going to be interesting, no doubt. I mean, I can't wait to see how it all plays out. Green flag stops, inevitable here at RGR.
Oh, most definitely. It looks like the fuel window is going to be right on the cusp of some guys trying to make it on one stop. It looked like 42
Really?
laps, but
you think the fuel will go that far? I mean, generally about 35 to 38 laps in this car. You think they might be able to extend it to 45, Adam?
Knowing some of these guys in here, they get the extra fuel cell, so there is a possibility. You have to watch for the guys in the back saving extra gas.
Yeah, definitely is. These guys adapt at it, and the guys at the back, you're right. Look in on the unofficial point standings. Lance Ripka first, Recker in second, Bruce in third, and Tony Ratliff, along with Jason Jackson, still within reach here. This is a big night for Buckshot Ripka. I mean, he's been on a tear as of late here, Adam. Can he continue, and can he avoid the Daytona thing where it's the one place where a guy like Ripka could finish last?
Yeah, Daytona has not been very kind, or any plate track has been kind to Mr. Ripka. If you ask him about it, he'll say bye. But he does good everywhere else, and that helps out. But I expect some newcomers tonight. I know that in the past, and we've seen some first-time winners here, like Adam Kulikowski. He pulled it off. And he had a lot of friends here the last time we raced him. So guys like him, maybe Bear, Nathan Hardy, Spear is a good drafter here. Maybe Rachel Hunt, Todd. There's a couple wild cards that people have to watch out for. And you also have to think about the new teams. Shane Fleming went to a new team this week.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. The teams are going to play huge, and we got to do a better job, perhaps, of focusing in on these teams. It's going to be interesting because Daytona is the one track where everybody's got a shot to win, right? And it's a matter of how much aggression are you willing to put in here, Adam? And, I mean, you want to survive, right? So teamwork on pit road going to be key, and aggression's going to be key. When and where do you attack here at Daytona?
Yeah, and somebody else that I hadn't mentioned, and he's won 2 of the last 3 races here, Eric Miller. He is a quiet but sneaky, clean drafting guy here, and he's done really, really well. Have to keep him on your checklist to watch out for drivers.
All right, we'll do just that. Eric Beller, one to watch, no doubt. Let's get into tonight's starting grid. It's Troy Torgerson on the pole. And of course, we missed our last broadcast there on Thursday night, Adam, I believe. Troy won that race, so sorry about that, Troy, but we've talked about it a lot. Once you get on a win, you tend to get on a heater. So Torgerson looking to continue with a time of 50.986. He's on your pole. Darren Bruce will start on the outside of row 1. George Leal and Rachel Hunt will be in row 2. It's Kulikowski, who you mentioned. He'll be starting 5th with Jason Jackson on his outside. George Rincon and Royce Valley will start in row 4. Row 5 is Brantley and Travis Sr. Otto Viani and Hardy will be in row number 6. We go a little bit further back here, and we've got Claus Williams, Austin Inman, Michael Fleming, Corey Buskirk, Todd Gillies Sr. It's Nick Burreese, Eric Beller, and Lance Ripka in your top 20, and that is our points leader back there in 20th position. A little further back, you got A-Bear, along with Rogers, Kane, Whitford, and rounding out the field, you got Thompson, Spear, Ashley, well, both Ashleys, Herb and Tom, Brad Collins, Tom Lester, Whiting, Tony Ratliff, Cheryl Newman, and George Dibble rounding out a nice big 30 car or 34 car field, Adam.
Yeah, it's a real big, large field tonight, which means big wrecks. We know they're inevitable. I mean, they're going to happen. But like I said, if you already look up front, 3 guys that are teammates and lady are already at the front of the pack.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where you got to be. You got to find yourself together somewhere. So it's gonna be interesting. People running up front, looking to stay safe from the front, and people looking to stay safe at the back. The mid pack, always the dangerous spot, Adam.
It sure is. And somebody else that I forgot to mention that has been good here in the past is Whitford. Derek Wickford has also been kind of a clean, underrated driver here.
All right, pace car's off. Green flag is down. Torgerson and Bruce bring them down into turn number 1.
Yeah, I've already got my eyes on a couple cars already, Dean. There's some new paint schemes out here tonight showing off their new colors.
Yeah, some beautiful looking paints, no doubt. Always is. Everybody nice and clean early on. This is what we expect, Adam. We expect these guys to kind of, just casually get around here 2 wide. I think we'll see that top lane dissipate as we already see someone darting down to the inside. That could have been Valley.
Yeah, I saw Valley. He came on down real quick. But, what I've learned in the past with this new tire and this new traffic combination, the second and third lane is where you want to be. The low lane does nothing. And you already see some guys already single file back there in the back doing their gas strategy.
And we've seen a little bit of that on the live real race there at NASCAR. The low lane just doesn't seem to have the oomph anymore.
No, not with this package at all. And, right away, talked about those teammates. Got a teammate. Ooh, ball. Travis, just something happened to him.
George Leal pulling off too there momentarily. That could have been something to do with what you're talking about. The 42 and Nathan Hardy, he's falling back here.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened to Travis, but he has some rear end damage. But looked like he just maybe had a glitch in his computer or something.
Try and get a look in on Travis there. I don't think we're seeing damage.
I've got left rear damage on this car.
Yeah, could be some scuffing, could be some artifacting going on there with that paint. Hard to say, but maybe that right front a little scruffed up there.
Yeah, it looked like his quality kind of crashed a little bit, but yeah, got some guys like Abear's trying to make his way up there, and so is talked about him before. The guy that doesn't have luck here, Lance has jumped on that high side, moving to the front, Dean.
All right, so Ripka trying to make some moves here, currently in 14th. He'll get up there behind Baris. Looks like that's Whitford, or that's Hardy up there leading that group. So this is the thing, Adam. You know, you got 4 cars up here. Is that enough to get any kind of momentum going?
Oh yeah, absolutely. With the way the cars are right now, if those guys in the bottom line aren't pushing, these guys on the outside will get that momentum. They got the side draft, but once they do, they'll slingshot right to the front.
All right, looks like Daytona free from Canadian smoke. How do you feel about that, Adam?
I would say finally. Every time I look on Facebook, Canada is on fire. So,
yeah, well, we certainly like to push that out there to people. Darren Bruce, your leader here on lap 5 of 90. We got the Alive Church Xfinity Series, Live Fully Alive. I mean, Bruce up front, he's got to be feeling good about this. He's been on a little bit of a dry spell.
he has, but you know, Darren has either been feast or famine at these tracks. He hasn't had the best of luck, but what I tell you about that outside line, Nathan is bringing them to the front.
Well, look how easy it is, Adam. They're not even really pushing. It's just the fact that the outside lane is just faster.
Yeah, and like I said, if someone gets down to the nitty gritty of this race and really wants to shake things up like Maurice stuck his nose out right there a little bit, yeah, you can get that third line going and have some real fun around this track.
Yeah, we're going to likely be waiting for that till the late going. And this is the thing. The early going, RGR here, you know, you're going to have to make sure you don't lose the draft. We go through the field here, Adam, and we're looking around. Everybody still in the draft. All 34 cars. So far, so good.
Yeah, and you know, somebody else I didn't forget, I just didn't mention him just yet, was Rincon. He always has a good run here, one way or the other. He does really, really well at Super Speedway tracks.
All right, George Rincon, we'll keep an eye out for him right now. We hop on board with Lance Ripka. He's made his way up 14 spots, him and Abear, both. They're in 6th and 8th, Adam. I mean, that was easy.
Oh yeah, but one thing I keep hearing in the chatter, like during practice and even now in the racing channel, the guys are talking about how loose they are, and I've also noticed that myself when I ran in this earlier this week. The car seemed to bounce around a lot.
Well, it seems a little unstable on entry. Is that correct, Adam?
Entry and exit. You can't do the aggressive push like you would normally do, and if you are just slightly off, it gets the guy in front of you really, really loose.
It's interesting. So generally when this happens, Adam, what you'll see is we got a pack falling back here, Adam. So I don't know what happened, but there is a whole pack of cars led by Edward Kane, now 2.5 seconds back, already in huge danger here.
Yeah, they need to line it up and get somebody pushing. They're going to be out hung out to dry being that far back.
Wow, so early in big trouble here, and they are not lined up. They're running too wide back here. They are maintaining the pace so far. Back up front, status quo. Hunt pushing Bruce. Torgerson right there lingering.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm really surprised. Nathan has lost his help, but I'm waiting for Lance or one of those guys, which Lance went down. I think they're just going to do that status quo racing and just follow him behind one another.
Yeah, we're getting down to the single files here, Adam, and I got a funny feeling. My stomach's tingly here. My spidey senses are going up. Fuel mileage may be engaged here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I was liking some of that side by side, but hopefully they can get it back together and get somebody to come up there with them to push to the front.
Kane in this second group, well, they've made up 3/10, so they don't seem to be in too much danger right now. As that top group has slowed to a crawl, Adam, I got a bad feeling, or a good one, depending on who you are. These guys up here and gals trying to save some gas.
Well, that's the only problem with Darren being in front right now. He's burning more fuel than the guys behind because of the draft. They had a great demonstration of the way iRacing's draft works on TV last night. And we saw a lot of, back and forth, push and pull in the draft, and not so bad in the Xfinity, but they put on a heck of a race as well. But that model that they're using, it's really hard to hook up and push like you used to.
The second group here, Kane, Whiting, Lester, Newman, the Ashleys, Paul Travis in there, Tony Ratliff, Dibble, Brad Collins, and bringing up the rear, Jason Spear. We've seen him do this. He often finishes near the front at these Daytona races.
Oh, yeah, and that's somebody else that I didn't mention. The Ashleys also got a new driver this week, so they have a third team member now on their group, which, like I said, that plays big dividends.
It certainly does. Now, this whole group, they have caught back up. So I don't know if it's a testament to their pushing or anything, because I didn't really see a lot of it. I think it's more of this front group has slowed down to a crawl, Adam. And, when they do this, opportunity knocks for guys who have no interest in it. Someone you brought up, George Rincon, up on the high side. He's got Claus Williams with him.
Yeah, and I like the way that Rincon drives his tracks. So if I was a driver and I wanted to gain some positions or hook up with the faster cars to get out front and maybe lead a little bit, he would definitely be one of the drivers I would hook up with.
All right, you heard it from the Bulldog. They are trying to go right to the front. Only 2 cars, Adam. Does that at all tell you that the inside lane is really kind of slow?
That, and they're trying to save gas, and right now it's just playing into the hands of George.
It is, and you think of someone like Darren Bruce. Does he need to get out of the lead, Adam? Is he making a mistake leading all these laps?
Yeah, I would switch up. I would let sorry, Rachel, go to the front just so she can get by and lead some.
Pretty sure you just called the Ashley's girls, but nonetheless, we'll move on.
Yeah, I was trying to find something on here to announce, but that's exactly what Darren did.
So Claus Williams pulls down to the inside, Adam. He leaves Rincon up there all alone.
He does, and Rincon can kind of hang tight for a little bit if he needs to. That'll be, something which he ducked behind Claus. That's a good move. I like them going to the front now. Darren can save some gas now.
Yeah, I think it's good for them to get up here, and I think Rincon did not want to lead there, so he kind of let Williams go down there. A cagey little move out of George. Good wiser Rincon.
Yeah, that was a veteran style move for sure.
Bruce in third. There's Hunt in fourth. Torgerson, Leal, Valley, Baris, Hardy, Ripka. That's your top 10. Here comes an outside lane, and there's Beller, someone you talked about, Adam. Oh, and he slips in line.
He slips in line, but watch Edward Kane. He'll go up to the front. and he's got a help from his teammate as well.
Well, we've seen this from Kane and Whitford in the past. They are not shy. They come to race at these things, and I'm not surprised to see these two hooked up and going to the front.
Remember when Adam Kulikowski won, that's exactly what they did. They went up there and they mixed it up and they swapped the lead half a dozen times. And you can do that and still save some gas mileage only if you have the help.
Now, speaking of help, they got Cheryl Newman up there with them. So Newman, she only run a few races here, Adam. Now, at Daytona, you know, anybody's game, like we say, and we find her going towards the front. There goes Kane and Whitford down to the inside. So now Newman will lead the outside lane.
Yeah, and Eric Miller, like I said, he has help from a newcomer to Inman. Inman is pushing him pretty good, and I think if Austin gets up on his back bumper, they're going straight to the front.
Great shots of those cars going by. We'll bring up our dashboard. You can see currently 179 miles an hour. We're on the Toad Man, Todd Gilly. And he'll pick it up down this straightaway, certainly go up towards 190, but you can see they're only going up to about 100. I mean, it's 185-ish there, Adam. That's kind of slow, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not pushing, and they're not doing a lot of side drafting. Once you start pushing and doing some side drafting, you'll see the speeds go up.
There is the Toad Man on the high side behind Austin Inman out here tonight. Good to see Austin. We've seen him around the Gen 4 series quite a bit.
My only thing for like the Warden and Rachel and Troy, now they're in the middle of the pack. They're in a dangerous place if something happens.
Yeah, this is where the red lights are going off in the car, and they're just saying, be careful, no sudden movements here. You see T.J. Rogers and George Dibble right above Bruce and Hunt, who were your early leaders.
And they're making up some, I see somebody else, the Possum. He's on his way to the front as well.
Big Possum. Jason Brantley in the 3 machine starting to come forward. He's got Otto Viani with him here. So what does this signify to you? You see them going too wide here, Adam. Speeds perhaps picking up. Is this an indication, hey, we can't make it, let's go race? Or is this we're good to go, let's go race?
I think it is half and half. I think some guys can push it further, and some guys are like, hey, look, I'm falling asleep back here. I can't make it. I'm going to the front. I'm going to get that extra point.
Here's a close-up look at that filter time machine of Cheryl Newman on the high side. She got Beller right behind her, looking to lead a lap here. She may have led the last lap. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a great view right there, just to see how much those cars are actually wiggling right now.
Yeah, they look a little unstable. You see Beller there with a sudden little, looseness there.
I was watching Toad. I was wondering if he was taking a toke or not.
Of course, the Kailu Glass sponsorship. We appreciate them as well. But it's an Alive Church tonight. Who's bringing up the rear here, you might ask? Jason Spear. Just lurking at the back, Adam. This is strategic, no doubt.
Oh, most definitely. The DNF king is not wanting to be in a DNF score.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we want to put that label on him, Adam, but yeah, I mean, his luck well noted here in the booth. Now, his luck is much better at these super speedways, Adam.
Yeah, he's got a great track record for the super speedways, as no doubt 9 times out of 10, you're going to find him at the front at the end of the race.
Well, still early going. Lap 21 of 90. Now, the other thing I would say, Adam, is we have 70 laps to go, a little under. This is definitely in a pit window. Does someone get in here if they assume, hey, we're going to have to do 2 stops? Let's get a breakaway group here. Let's get in early and see if we can't just get away from everybody.
Well, that and, right now, like it's talking about the Warden and Rachel and Troy, that whole group right there, if they needed to pit, they're in a very dangerous area. They can't control how many guys come behind them if they said, hey, look, I'm pitting now. And that causes chaos. And we've seen that several times over the last couple races where guys and ladies have spun out coming on pit road. As we see Austin going by Cheryl right now.
Yeah, Cheryl pushed a little high there, and now she finds herself 3 wide repeatedly. This is dangerous. TJ Rogers in the middle. Cheryl trying to get on the bumper of the Toad Man. Almost contact. They're getting very, very close there. They got to get this sorted out and get back in line. Oh, contact again and again and again, and they're going.
There it goes.
Here it goes. Around goes TJ Rogers. They are reckon it's the big one here at Daytona.
Oh, I was calling that. I saw that coming.
I mean, we've seen several touches at him. I don't know why they kept going, but they did. Let's get a replay, see what happened. You can see Newman just touch, and that's no good. Down to the inside. And we see at the back here, Ashley's trying to brake. Great job of these guys at the back, almost coming to a complete stop. I love that, but several cars involved there, and some got through. Looks like Bruce got through. Cheryl Newman's good. Torgerson, I think, is good. Leal, Rincon. So some survive, some do not, Adam.
I saw one car blink out. I don't know if they towed or not, but it must have.
Wow. So it didn't take much there. It was very odd to see how they were racing, because I don't think they were particularly racing at them, but they just couldn't clear each other, and they were just way too close. You could see it happening.
Well, and I was listening to the chat, and I'm not, I'll say this constructively. When you have someone that's new to the league and is a rookie and not used to running with guys of this magnitude, it does make you a little nervous when you ride on somebody, and you have to listen to your spotter as we come down pit road.
Well, the question might be asked is why not back out, right? And just clear that situation up. But nonetheless, things happen. This is Daytona, and we've had the big one. Now we're on pit road, and it's only going to get more racy now, Adam. You can throw any fuel mileage out the window.
Oh, yeah, fuel mileage is completely destroyed now.
So the pit board showing everybody, and you can see Beller first one out, Inman, Bruce, the Toad Man, Kane, your top 5. Looks like Leal next up with Whitford, Fleming, Cheryl Newman, and Herb Ashley will come out in the top 10. Some people having longer stops. Rincon lurking on pit road here. He's up there. So's Jason Jackson. This is obviously people fixing damage. Bear's still in. Ripka. Well, they're coming out now after substantial stops, Adam.
Yeah, they had a mess of damage on some of those cars.
So Torgerson, Hunt, Kulikowski, Jackson, Rincon, Valley, Brantley, and others still on pit road. Wow, truly the big one here.
Yeah, that was, that's one of those wrecks that I was talking about. If it happened and it was in the middle of the pack, it would be, something to watch out for. And A lot of those guys I mentioned got very lucky.
Well, and some didn't, right? I mean, you said they were in the danger zone, and they were.
Yeah, they definitely were in a very dangerous spot, and now look who's up front. It's one of the guys I mentioned. Watch out for.
Absolutely. You've been spot on tonight, Adam. We're going to go back to a replay, though, and I want to see if we can pick up on someone who may have got through there, like Bruce, for instance, to see how he was able to avoid all this carnage. We'll go on board here, Adam, and have a look and see what he saw. So there you can see a little bit of shuffling around on the top side, and he can see it happening. There it comes down right in front of him. A little bit of break down through the grass he goes. I mean, great job. And we hop over to Tom Ashley. He sees all the carnage, and he just casually drives right behind his co-driver there, the Whataburger machine, and they're out of there.
Yeah, but now, like you said, gas is not so much of a factor right now. Who's going to go for it?
Yeah, well, that's the question, right? Now, they take gas out of the picture. Does it even change anything for you, Adam?
For me, it's time to go. I want to be at the front. I want to avoid what we just saw.
Well, that's what I've always said, to just cut off for a second. When you want to linger around the back for safety, did you see what just happens in front of you? It's not so safe, Adam.
No, it's not. But, as I'm starting in the back for tomorrow's race, in another race I'm doing, you either got to be up front or in the very, very tail.
Right.
There's no middle to it.
Like when I'm at the back, Adam, I don't even want anybody behind me. I want to be very last, so I can brake as hard as I want to brake and no fear of being run over.
Well, or do what the Ashleys did. That was just phenomenal heads-up braking by them.
It was, and I think it shows just how everybody's growing in this league. The wreck avoidance there, some of the guys was just great.
Green.
Here we go, back to green flag racing. A little disconjointed on the high side, but everybody looks safe here. There's a look at Brad Collins sitting here in 14th position, right in the middle of the pack, right where you don't want to be, Adam.
Yeah, but one thing I was looking at, the Warden has lost some of his teammates, so he's going to have to be looking for some guys to work with right now.
And what do you do, Adam, in that circumstance? You've lost your teammates either through bad stops or wrecks. Are you communicating with people, or are you just feeling it out on the track who you can work with?
I'm feeling it out. And right now, because these cars, when they got damage on them, as you see Valley up high right there, they're a handful. They are really a handful. They can spin out super easily, as we see smoke back there in the back.
You see how quickly, Adam, Kane and Whitford get hooked up on that high side. These guys love working together. Inman comes out and slides right in front of Kane there. So Inman sees what's happening. He wants a piece of that.
Well, now, since Fleming, I think, is on the same team as Paul Travis, now Leo's got a teammate. So you got two back-to-back teammates pushing together. I mean, it's going to shake things up for sure.
It is Bruce all over the back of Beller. Now, we didn't see this kind of pushing earlier. Let's bring up our dashboard, and you can see the speeds have increased here. We are now going to go well over, I believe, 190 on the back straightaway.
Yeah, they're definitely getting a lot more aggressive.
So approaching 190 now, but the corner speeds are way up there, what they were doing on the straightaways earlier. So these cars getting wound up, going faster, things heating up here at Daytona.
I wonder if those guys back there still have a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them do. Quick look at the weather. 83 on the track temp. Nothing really to be concerned about there. Let's look a little further back. We got guys like Barrice, Torgerson, Hardy. They're about 4 or 5 seconds off the pack. Then you got Brantley all alone. Valley already a lap down, but in the main pack. Other guys, Claus Williams, Eric Whiting, George Dibble, TJ Rogers, seemingly done for the night. Tom Lester just put down his best lap of the race. He's back in 18th position. Love the paint job Tom's rocking today.
Yeah, that's an image of their drag race car. Looks just like it. Him and his brother.
Good looking car.
If Jessica's out there listening, it's got a Ford motor in it, though.
You see Spear and Hunt right at the back of the group. I don't think they're out of touch. They're playing it safe back here, Adam.
I think Rachel had some damage from that last pit stop. She's got
what we call front end damage on her rear end.
Mm-hmm.
It harkens back to an old group we raced with back in the day. One of the classic calls I ever heard.
Yeah, while we were looking at that, we got a new leader up front. Austin Inman took the lead from a push from Edward Kane. And he slid down right in front of Beller. So,
yeah, do not sleep on Austin Inman. I mean, we covered him in the Gen 4 series. He can drive, no doubt about it. He's your leader. Beller, who you like, right there behind him. And then Kane and Whitford. I'm telling you, these two, they come to race. I love the way they race super speedways.
yeah, they got good pushes, and he's being methodical about where he pushes them also. But look, the brothers are hooked up as well.
Yeah, Herb and Tom Ashley hooked up. So that top side seemingly has, you know, some good continuity up there.
I like what Darren is doing. Darren is getting up close, and that's, you know, laying back, you can save a little bit of gas, but if you really want to save some gas, you need to get right up within a bumper to a bumper and a half away from them. Well, that way you can let off the gas even more.
There's just no need for fuel saving at this time, I don't believe. So we ride on board with the Toad Man, Todd Gilly. He is right behind the 90 of Shane Fleming. He's in that Bandit car, that special paint that he's made, which I like a lot.
Yeah, it's a sharp looking car. Love the coloring of it.
So you can see right here from the Toad Man, Adam, it's a pretty casual drive here. He's not pushing. Lots of space. He's just riding right now. And the only other thing that he's doing right now, Adam, he's got his two hands together when he can. He's saying a few prayers here and there.
Yeah, he's definitely, he looks a little loose at some points. I don't know if that's the air around him or the air behind him, but he gets a little wiggly at certain times. I noticed that out of a couple other guys, but it's good to see that Valley has caught back up, because won't he be the lucky dog if we get a caution?
I think right now he probably would be the lucky dog. Yes, he is in this pack here behind A Bear, so he is currently in that spot.
Sporting a Davey Allison paint scheme.
You know, when we talk about these cars at Daytona being a little loose, or let's call it a little awkward on entry, a little awkward on exit, and what I find, Adam, is you want to release the wheel on entry, right? Kind of straighten that thing out so it doesn't do that. What does that do? that'll push you up the track a bit. So when we get 2 wide, when we get 3 wide, it becomes extremely dangerous.
Well, at Daytona for me, and I know we've all done this, you want to put a little bit more min force into the wheel. That way it helps with the stability, because when you sit on pit road with these cars the way they are, you'll get that rocking in your steering wheel, and you also get that same rocking when you try to push real hard.
Yeah, for you at home, the min force is a setting for your wheel. It'll accentuate the minimum forces, like little cracks in the road and that type of thing. Gives you a little more feeling in the wheel, and it, what you can get at Daytona in these corners at times, a bit of a dead wheel feeling. So you really don't know how much to turn. Sometimes guys will overturn the wheel. Cranking that min force up can help quite a bit.
Oh yeah, and the way these wheels are, folks, even though this is virtual racing, you feel everything in the wheel just like regular, you being on a track in the real car.
We got Scott Olson was here. He'll be back in 45 minutes, he says. And Jared out in the chat, Minnesota. Bryce Reiner's here. Adam Recker out in the chat. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, good to see you, old potato head, Sandbagger, and Jared out there in the audience tonight.
Here's an interesting one. Here's Big Possum. He's going a lap down. Where does he filter in? He's got to know Valley is the lucky dog. He cannot, and Valley jumps up. That was interesting. Momentarily, looked like he was going 3 wide. Brantley going to let them all go. He may be too injured to do anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if Brantley can get up in the draft, he has to be real careful of overheating right now.
See, there's Spear and Hunt right here at the back. They are just lingering. Up front, Inman with Beller pushing. Bruce right behind him. And it's Kane and Whitford on the high side, looking for the Ashleys to snug up a bit here.
Yeah, if the Ashleys get tightened up, they'll go right on around the 18.
You can see they start to surge just a little bit. Leal, the whole race, has been lurking right here, right about where he is where he's always been. He's actually down 3 spots from the start, though.
Yeah, he's been very quiet tonight. He hadn't really made no push to go to the front just yet.
Well, there's just no need at this point. I mean, I always say this thing doesn't even start until your first green flag stop, Adam.
Yeah, but with points the way they are and Lance getting on fire, I want to get a point. I want to lead some laps, try to get the most laps led. Yeah, I'm going to try to take advantage of, and that's one thing that Batman was masterful at. He would gain the most points in a race, even starting in the back. Get the extra point coming through the field, lead the laps, lead a lap. That's what you're going to have to do to catch Lance this season. You got to think outside the box.
A lot of great drivers out here, Adam, but none better than our drone cam operator. My goodness, smooth.
I tell you, that drone operator is smooth as glass. It's an awesome shot.
But you see Lester on the outside, Buckshot on the inside, right in front of them. That looks like Paul Travis up on the high side. So, and that is Paul Travis. He's in the group, but he's a few laps down, Adam.
Yeah, he was. Looks like he still has a little bit of damage, but not a whole lot.
No, I'm surprised he's more than 1 lap down. He is 4 laps down on our scoring, so tough for him. I don't see him getting those back. Usually a quiet night here at Daytona. We did have the big one, though. Took out several cars. Eric Whiting still on pit road. I think everybody else has returned to the racing surface. And now trouble at the back, Adam, is what I'm seeing is Spear has lost the draft along with Rachel Hunt.
Yeah, I was worried about them two back there. I mean, they had a huge gap. And now they're going to need a caution.
They're going to need one, and there's none to be had. I mean, these guys are just too much of vets. They're not going to do anything stupid here early. Now, we already had one, so could it happen? Of course it can happen. I just don't expect it.
Well, they still got to give them to pit road one more time. So anything is possible.
Well, it definitely is, and that's something to, soon we'll start discussing once that window opens up, Adam. What do you prefer? I mean, you prefer to get in early or wait till late?
Earlier the better. Jump the field.
Yeah, definitely. Early seems to be the way. You need friends, you need teammates to get it done, though.
Yeah, and you saw the warden, he just jumped to the outside just in, and we got some cars up ahead, and this could play an advantage into some of these guys' hands if they want to go ahead and pass and get on out front.
And I think they will now with Bruce leading and Kane and Whitford behind him. I think you'll see that outside lane go a little bit better now.
Oh, we already see Warden is a half a car in front already.
So they're surging, but the inside lane still doing well, holding them off through the corners. The outside lane will line up down this straightaway and try and get a big push. I feel like saying there's the Bulldog coming down the middle, but you're up here in the booth, Adam.
Yeah, I would love to be out there, but I've got to be up here calling with my buddy in the booth tonight. Again, another great race on a Sunday night, and give all the glory to God.
Yeah, you bet. Absolutely. Austin Inman leading mostly. Bruce perhaps leading right now on the outside with Kane and Whitford. Beller and Leal second and third on the inside.
Yeah, I like what I see up there. Darren is trying to get it done, but we got a group of cars in front. That draft is going to come in effect very, very soon. And Darren made the move.
So Darren Bruce takes over, heads down to the bottom. So that's a great move by him. He is on the bottom behind, goes up top, picks up one spot, and slides back down. Now we got to start thinking about lap cars here. I believe we got Baris, Torgerson, and Hardy right in front of our leaders. Adam, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble here, but they got three of them. They've got speed. How do they play this?
One thing, they need to get down low and stop running up high. That's costing them time. But,
yeah, I think that's courtesy going on, but it may be too early for that.
Yeah, a little too early for the courtesy. That's going to really potentially cause a problem depending on when they catch up to them, because they've been running too wide for so long.
And what do you like, Adam? You're leading the race. You want these guys on the high side or the low side?
High side, absolutely.
All right. Well, here it comes to field, folks. Hold your breath. 3 wide we go. Everybody being very cautious here. So far, so good. A little wobble there from Torgerson, but all was well.
Now, Baris and them if they're going to keep up with the pack, and you see Tom goes down low, they're not going to lose the pack. They need to mix in pretty quick.
That was a pretty good move from Lester there. I think he's trying to pick up that lucky. Well, he's actually on the lead lap. out of the three that went a lap down, you got Torgerson in front of Hardy. So I think Baris probably came out the best out of that group, but Valley's still in that lucky dog spot. He's a little further up.
Yeah, I'm just seeing like Brantley is going another lap down. They just have way too much damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a frustrating night for the Big Possum. I don't know what you do. I mean, I like people to finish their races, but at this point, you're almost like, might as well go and have a pint at the local pub, Adam.
Yeah, it definitely makes, for a long night, but as you know, my luck and what I've done in the past, I've been as many as 8 laps down. You never know what can happen.
Well, ain't it the truth? Yeah, we've seen that out of the Bulldog many times. Always trying, always racing.
Yeah, I think Whitford and them need a little bit of help to get back up there inside the Warden. Ashley's a little bit too far off right now at the moment if they're going to try and make a move to get to the front.
Yeah, it looks like mostly they've all settled down. There's only maybe, 8 cars actually racing out here. Everybody else pretty content, waiting, trying to set their strategies up. Then you look back at Spear and Hunt. They're pretty much cooked here. They need a caution. I mean, Rachel is hurt. She cannot push the way they need to push. And quite frankly, even if she could, I don't think they could catch up. So those two are in a world of hurt.
They are right now. That's making for a long night.
Torgerson and Brantley, along with Hardy, a little further back. They've fallen off. They've lost the draft after getting lapped, so not good news for them. A guy you like lingering around the back of this group, George Rincon. He's got Brad Collins right in front of him, along with Kulikowski, who you mentioned earlier. What do you think of these three at the back of the field?
I like Kulikowski. I'm telling you, him and George can mix it up real quick.
All right, so we got some heavy hitters lingering around the back of the pack, biding some time. Oh, about 40 to go right now. Fuel mileage will dictate. Adam, you say you want to be first in. I mean, how close do you have to be? Do you have to consider, how many exactly the fuel mileage? Do you want some safety? When do you come in?
Well, we're not in the safety mode here in this series no more, so we don't have to worry about a green flag, green, white checkered. So you're just getting it to the line. You come as soon as you're in that
window. All right. So we'll be interested to see this league notorious for long pits. Adam, if you're ever going to short pit, this is the place.
10-4, and I've heard that a lot, just in a little bit of the chatter. Switching channels. Guys are already thinking about it and thinking about, hey, I need to do this. I need to get on the low line. We got to make something happen coming up here in the next 15 minutes.
And did our Spud friend just give you a new nickname, Adam? I maybe Last Lap Newton? Could be.
Who did that?
Our Spud friend.
Oh, Lord. I got too many nicknames.
Some good, some bad, folks. So Kane and Whitford, a couple guys that I like. I love the way they're racing, fighting with Inman and Bruce. Bruce, remember, moved up and back down to take the lead back. So they've been up here all night, him and Inman. Beller right in the mix as well. The Ashley's been hanging around here all night. Has been George Leal and Michael Fleming. A-Bear in the top 10 as well. I mean, the top 10 hasn't changed a whole lot, Adam.
They haven't, but look where Valley and Baris are. They're fighting for the lucky dog. Well, at least one of them is. But I like what Baris did.
No, both
He
of
got
them are.
right behind
This
him.
is a direct fight here, so Brees has to find his way in front of Valley. Now,
That's what I was thinking.
now, Adam, you never want to cause wrecks, okay? I just want to be clear before I say this. But do you get up on the high side and make it 3 wide here and try to force the issue a bit, you know? I mean, lucky dog's
Yeah.
important.
Well, it's big time. Because, I mean, that's a big points gap right there that you could overcome. I would definitely be, I saw the door for opportunity to get around them. I would have to take it. I mean, we're clicking off laps. We'll be at 60 here in no time. And, you know, like I said, folks are already chattering about going in the pit road. You're going to have to make you move pretty quick.
Let's look at Breeze here, you know, and I was noticing this from the other camera. You see where Valley and that high line is running at him. Look at this. The middle is wide open. I mean, it's dangerous, and you might catch some flack for it, but how about shooting the middle here?
Oh, I'd shoot the gap in a heartbeat. I like some excitement. I'm not going to hold out. If I'm like,
Oh,
he
Breeze,
just
there he
did.
goes,
He
down to
moved.
the bottom. So a big
listen
move
to
from
me.
Nick Breeze. He didn't shoot the middle at him, but he shot the bottom. That puts him in the lucky dog spot.
I like that move. I like it.
So he had to do something, and he did. I love it. Your leader, Darren Bruce, the Warden out front.
You know, one other thing that, you know, is really good about this move, now he can come with the leaders to pit road. He's on a whole nother strategy.
Yeah, absolutely correct. I mean, this is a massive one-position change, Adam.
You would almost think it was the move for the win of the race.
Well, it could be. I mean, you know, the old sports centers used to have the turning point. That could be the turning point. We'll see how it plays out. On the top side, still Kane and Whitford. Oh, and Bruce perhaps pushed a little loose, chases it down below the line. Inman does not wreck him. He lets him back in. So good job by those guys.
That was a hold your breath moment for sure by Darren. But I mean, now with the momentum, Valley went right back ahead of Breeze.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a constant switch up back there for that lucky dog. No doubt about that. What I like is what we just seen from Bruce and Inman. Tell me about that a little bit, Adam. You're Darren Bruce. The guy behind him maybe pushed you a little touch off center. You get a little loose. He lets you, and there it is again. A little bit of a nudge out of Inman. So he's making him a little unstable. I was just about to say, him letting you back in built trust. Are you feeling trust, or are you feeling a little uneasy with this bumping?
Both, but I want to be in the front, so at this point I could care less. Keep pushing me.
All right, you heard it there, and Newton very good on the super speedways. It takes a little bit of aggression to get it done. You kind of want an Austin Inman on your bumper, don't you?
Well, just like last night in the cut race, you gotta have it's no guts, no glory. I mean, those guys on the high side took a chance, and it paid off. And the same thing can happen, but you got to set yourself up for pit road right now. So the further up I can get to stay in touch with those guys that say, hey, they're going to short pit and make it to the checkered flag. I want to be as close to those leaders as possible. I don't want to be back there and, you know, potentially lose the draft, lose a partner. Get me up to the front.
So let's talk about the Ashleys a little bit here, Adam. You got Herb and Tom Ashley sitting third and fourth on the high side. They've been there forever. They haven't done any pushing so far, which I'm okay with. It's early. When do they start pushing? When do they formulate their plan for success here?
Well, the way that this series usually likes to run, you've got to do something within 10 laps to go. If you don't, you're just going to settle for a position. You're going to have to make a run a little bit early to shake things up. So I would, keep where I'm at right now. Ooh,
Oh, and we got
Morrison.
Abear coming in.
Finish.
Ripka's in. Buskirk, Kulikowski, hit pit road. So here we go. Our first group of cars is taking the pit road here on lap 61.
My spotty senses were right.
Oh, and
Told you,
Ripka
look at
slides
that lap.
through his stall.
Oh, man. And I think, that was not a clean stop for Kulikowski either.
It wasn't bad. He got the good angle on the exit there. It looked like it might be a pit stop earlier, but Ripka not hurt too much. He comes out in front of Bear. I don't know how. He was through his stall. So interesting. We bring up our pit board here. Let's see what kind of stops these guys got.
That was part of what I was talking about. They're too separated. Now Kulikowski and George are going to have to push like crazy to catch back up to these.
So, Adam, just to be clear, these are 4-tire stops. Ripka with an 11-1, a 2-tire stop, but Bear a 13-4, Kulikowski at 12-5. These are very slow 2-tire stops, in my opinion, and they're busted up. Only 2 cars together here. So this is I'm going to call this a D on the grading system, Adam.
Yeah, that was a horrible pit cycle for those guys.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. First in the best, but you must come in together. Here we go.
Comes our leaders.
Your leader, along with Beller. So nobody else until we get back to... Oh, that's the Toad Man down to the inside wall. Todd Gilly. And he goes back into the wall a second time just for fun. That's like when you bump your head on something and you just hit it again out of anger at him.
I told you, pit road's a dangerous place with these new cars.
All right, so they come in. Let's bring up our pit board again. We'll see what kind of times we're talking here. And Bruce sitting there forever. Beller and Rincon come out on a 2-tire. Look like 4 for Bruce, maybe. Jackson a little slow. I don't know what they're thinking here, Adam. It is a 2-tire stop here at Daytona, not 4, and it'll cost you. Inman coming in. He's got the Ashleys and Tony Ratliff with him. Let's see if they can do a little better.
Yeah, so far the grades on the pit stops are D's and D minuses.
Yeah, we're not seeing. These pit stops should be in the 9-second range, and they're just not. Again, we're looking at 12s and 13s. Tony Ratliff comes out, but he comes out alone, Adam. These people they're not in sequence with each other. Inman's with them, actually. So Inman, along with Ratliff, come out together. That's okay, but there's only 2 of them. Now your leaders, Kane.
Left sides.
Here they come.
The
a whole group. Leal surges down there quickly. Can he get it woed down in time?
Man, this has been a crazy sequence of pit stops.
It's absolutely insane. We are not seeing this group that all have 9-second stops and come out together, Adam. Again, pit stops going long. They must think they need tires, Adam. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Brad Collins with a good stop. So the 67 has a 9.2. That's a great stop. Thompson also has a great stop. Not sure where he come from. I don't know if we talked about him tonight.
Nah, he's been super quiet back there in the back. And right there goes Rachel and Spear right there. But
so Thompson has an appropriate stop, an 8.3 on pit road, and he comes out alone at him. I can't fathom what's going on here. So Lester and Newman are on pit road. Look like Newman missed her stall. She had to inch into it or something. Not sure what happened there. So your new leader, Jason Spear, along with Rachel Hunt, still hoping and praying for a caution. And they're coming in. Their praying's over.
Look how far George Leal is by himself right now.
George Leal leading this race with absolutely nobody around him. He had an 8-3 stop. That's the stop everybody should have had, in my opinion. So George Leal does it right, and not many in the field have. Fleming and Beller coming. They've got Rincon and Inman with them. Bruce is there as well. The next group up looks like it's Lester right there. And Lester getting passed high and low. Kane bobbing and weaving. Thompson bobbing and weaving. Behind him, Ripka and that group trying to catch up at him.
Yeah, I think right there, Kane went out of bounds when he passed Tom, but that was Tom had to come up. I mean, wow, this has definitely changed things up.
Up front, Beller in front of the field on the outside. Inman now in front of Bruce, so they reverse positions here. Bruce slides down and leaves Inman. Wow, what a shocker there.
Well, I think right now they're going to try to separate the field even more. If they can haul tail right now, single file, and kind of leave those guys high and dry, it could make for a three-car battle to the end.
I'm just not in favor of leaving friends out on the track. Inman's been working with them all night. Inman's going to take note of that. That could play later. Tony Ratliff coming up on the outside to help Austin Inman. Behind him, Ripka in that group, they are about 2 seconds back of Kane and Thompson, who are another 3/4 back of Fleming, the back of the pack. Things heating up here at Daytona. 23 laps to go.
I think a lot of people need to go back and rethink their pitting, especially in super speedways. They've really struggled with that.
Well, we've seen some 4-tire stops, but more puzzling was the long 2-tire stops, Adam. I mean, a 2-tire stop is 8 to 9 seconds. It is not 11, 12 seconds.
Oh, no, it was only like 2 or 3 that we saw that, executed pit road entry and exit, and George Leal just killed it. I mean, that was... But, these guys were able to catch back up, and now they're going to basically drag the other guys back into this. But, wow.
Well, the thing is, how hard does Ripka and them have to push to get up here? Looks like they're catching up. Looks like they're good now. So there's plenty of time for them. I was going to say they might be running out of time by the time they get there. Collins in a little bit of danger here, Adam. He has got to. This is a last gasp attempt to stay in the draft here.
Yeah, Collins is looks like he's going to lose the draft.
I think he can get it, Adam, but he needs help. He can't have anything go on. I think he's getting the help he needs. They look like they've slowed down a little bit in front of him. He might be okay.
It's about 1.5 seconds is where your marker is. So if how far is he from Tom?
Yeah, I mean, he's there now. Collins is okay. He has survived here momentarily. He was only, 6, 7 tenths back, so he is sucked back up. He is in the pack. Out front, Beller and Rincon.
He needs to get the draft off of Tom right now, but yeah, the top line got reestablished.
All right, so we officially have a 16-car pack. 20 to go right now. It's the Alive Church Xfinity Series where anything can and will happen.
Now, the guys with the 2 tires, are you going to see even more wiggling once the pushing really gets going?
Big shout out to Mr. Olson out on there. He's out on his patio with the big screen there in the gazebo, so to speak. He says it looks amazing out there, Adam.
Oh, that's awesome. Always good to hear from the potato head.
Absolutely. Looks like Tom Lester starting to fade a little bit, but no, he's just going to the back. He is just fine. Beller and Inman still leading this thing. Rincon along with Tony Ratliff seemingly out of nowhere. You know how he got here, Adam?
Tony did some good job in getting on and off pit road, and he's having a little problem right now.
Yeah, there was a potential problem there, but
yeah.
You're absolutely right, Adam. I mean, he's one of the few cars who had a good pit road, and look where it's gotten him. He is up here outside of that little bobble. He is up here second on the high side.
Yeah, they need to hook back up and get that second line going again. 18 to go. They got to do something.
Hardy up there on the high side as he gets passed by the field. There's Ripka and Abear.
Well, Wharton made his move. That was a good move. Getting a little bit of drafting help from the lap cars.
Well, see, now he's back in front of Inman. Inman's going to help him for now. But he already knows Bruce left him. So he's going to leave Bruce at some point during this race. Mark my words.
Yeah, he's gonna get left out high and dry. Just don't know when.
Just like relationships, Adam, trust a major factor.
Yeah, that's surprising to see Ashley getting passed right now. That they had such a good run going before the pit stops.
Yeah, that's Tom Ashley. He's going to be your lucky dog right now. So him, along with Spear and Hunt, are in a fight for the lucky dog. It doesn't look like they might be aware of their predicament. I'd be making some moves here, Adam.
Well, you know, it all depends on if they have a big wreck. They have a big wreck, guys, they're going to come to get tires. Because we're seeing that tires do make somewhat of a difference.
I disagree completely. Nobody's coming in for tires with 16 to go.
I would.
Well, I would be happy to see
car.
you do. I mean, you'd be going back to 19th place, Adam.
I don't know, man. You know how we like to roll. I have a feeling a couple of other guys could make it happen and get back to the front.
All right. As per usual, there's different ways of looking at things. Nothing necessarily right or wrong, except for in this case where I'm right and he's wrong.
Only a Canadian would say that.
It's George Leal making his move, so here he comes. He slipped up in front of the Warden, and now Bruce pushing Leal up to the front. Leal either going to stay there or vacate. He chooses to stay up there for now. Bruce looking to go and out on the outside of him, so Bruce hangs him out to dry.
That was a good move by Bruce. I would have done the same thing, but this is going to cause that harmonica, the push and go effect right now in the center.
The old push and go effect in the center. All right. Leal trying to drive her right back down the middle. George Leal, up the chute he goes. He gets back in line, shuffled out, Tony Ratliff.
What I was trying to say, the accordion effect was what I was looking for.
Ah, yes, the concertina effect. So now Bruce on the high side shuffled out, and I wonder why. He's left two people out, so they're not going to let him in, but he squeaks in. But no, Thompson says, you're not in. I'm underneath you.
Yeah, but I like what Darren's doing, because if he could get some help on that high side, that could change things up at the front.
Racing heating up here. 14 to go in the Daytona 225 here with RGR Racing. It's the Alive Church Xfinity Series. And Herb Ashley loose there. Wow. He come down and give a little smack there to Big Possum.
Yeah, him and Darren had some contact right there, Dean.
All right. right, so perhaps a little bit of an awkward push there, and great job of saving that thing. That could have been catastrophe for some and gold for others.
I don't want to jinx myself, but didn't I mention two of those guys up front earlier in the race?
Well, you certainly did. The inside lane is all yours, Adam. Matter of fact, you can go 3 deep on that. You talked about Fleming as well. There's Cheryl Newman getting passed by everybody. Can she hold her line here on the high side? The Warden pushes up. Bear pushes up. She comes down. It's getting tense. Kulikowski trying to get down. Wow.
Yeah, that could have been a oh wow moment for sure.
Rick Thompson pushing Leal to the front. We know Leal does not want to drop down. Thompson will. So Thompson now leading the inside lane, surging as that air is left Leal to dry. He'll have to wait for Kane to pick him up.
Yeah, I like that was a pretty good move coming down low right now. But, you know, this is really going to make things interesting because another one of the guys that I was talking about earlier in the race, he's behind Leal right now. You got to watch out for Edward. He can make some moves, and the other guy I was talking about is right behind him.
Yeah, and what happened to Derek Whitford? Whitford not in the lead group. So we have a group of Whitford, Jackson, looks like Baris in this group. And someone is off the track. Brad Collins down off the track. No caution. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, coming to 10 laps to go, Dean. Time to make your moves if you're going to make some.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Adam. There's been some moves made. This is where I start catching my breath. I'm like, just be patient here. Let's wait till about 7 to go. 7 to go. I'm shooting the middle. I'm shooting the high side. I'm going somewhere, Adam. And it might be right straight now, to the graveyard.
Well, it could be to the graveyard, but right there you see there's too many spaces available. As you see, A-Bear moved up. I got to start making moves if I'm coming in front. I'm not going to wait that long.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So they ran casual all race long, mostly, right? And they've learned to just ride their own line, and they leave these gaps. The middle is wide open, Adam.
Oh, yeah, it's been open several times. As you see, you know, Renko went back down to the bottom just then as well, and he's got help from Ratliff. So they need to, you know, start thinking outside the box.
Kulikowski back here. I don't know what happened, but Bruce way off the pace. So something happened with Bruce. Kulikowski faded a little bit. There's Lester.
Maybe some guys didn't take enough gas.
Well, I don't think that's the case. There was probably a bauble somewhere that we missed. It separated this group. We are now in a 12-car pack with Adam Kulikowski trying desperately to latch on to this group. So here we go. And I took my breath. Here comes A-Bear. He sees the middle. He's shooting that gap right underneath of Travis. He goes, Travis up into the outside wall. Back down. He holds on to it. Holy smokes.
Oh, wow. That was a hold your breath moment for sure, but I love the move.
Oh, it's a great move, but it was a little testy there. It gave chance to Kulikowski to catch up here, so him and Tom Ashley are catching up. Ashley gives way here. He goes to the high side. He brought Kulikowski up here, Adam. What can he do with it?
He needs to go. I mean, he needs to get behind him and push him up there. As you see, look, A-Bear is going on the high side with Buckshot. I love it.
We going 3 wide. Absolutely intriguing racing here. Buckshot pushing A-Bear. It's Kane and Fleming pushing Leal. Inman behind Rick Thompson. And Leal goes to the high side. He opens up the middle at him.
Wow, and one of the guys I talked about earlier is going to the front. I love it.
And Paul Travis, not even on the lead lap. He'll shoot the middle. Down there, he's going to help Fleming and Kane. That high side, that was a big mistake, Adam, by George Leal, in my opinion.
I don't know if it is just yet. Watch that side draft. If Hebert can get on them, they're going to come around him, and George will go back to the front.
So hard racing continuing. Fleming with Kane. He's pushing for all he's worth. Not much of a push from Inman at this point. Going to open it up for Kane if he wants. And he does. He slides right on the nose of Rick Thompson. So Kane takes the inside lane. Now Fleming alone in the middle. Well, he's got Travis with him. Travis going to come and help him. I'm surprised nobody else coming down the middle. They're all waiting for a wreck that isn't happening, Adam.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I like what Hebert is doing. Somebody's got to do that. I mean, that was way too much open space right there.
Yeah, he left Leal and said, oh, I'll take that, thank you very much. Ripka going in there. Leal shuffled out.
But that is Pork Chop.
Oh, and Travis wiggling and wobbling. He hangs on again. Now Hebert trying to get in front of Leal, but he's opening up the middle to Ripka. Ripka backs out. Wow, Fleming darting back and forth at the front of the outside lane. These cars unstable at the moment. Oh, they're wrecking! It's Travis! He's around! Several cars involved! Oh, boy! Things have gotten ugly here. Ripka, Leal, Hebert, Ratliff. Yellow flag is out. Let's get a look and see what happened.
Well, Dean, that's probably going to be the race since we don't have a green-white checker.
So Travis, second in line, he's trying to hold the middle and he can't, and he gets turned coming down. You can say he turned himself. You could say Hebert turned him. Unbelievable. Let's go back and take another look and see if we get a little closer in on what happened here. Paul Travis Sr., he's up here trying to help Fleming, but we've seen it over and over. He can't hold that car down in the corners, Adam. So he opens up the middle here. Hebert says, okay, I guess you're giving it up. I don't know. And he starts coming, but back down comes Travis. Now they're misaligned. Now he goes back up the track. So Hebert goes underneath them, but the uncertainty, not claiming your lane, so to speak, started this whole thing, Adam.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate for those guys right there. They had a good, clean race going right there, but one of my picks is at the front.
All right, so 3 laps to go. Will we go back to green? Several cars on pit road. The top 15 staying out on the track, Adam. I think we'll go back with 1 to go, Adam. Is that correct?
If they don't have a green-white checker, yes, I think it will do 1 to go.
So, I mean, in this situation, really something new here to the league. A 1-lap shootout, Adam. Forget about 3. 1 lap at Daytona? I mean, you can't even get your car wound up. How do you make a move?
You got to look for a teammate right away and have a great reason.
Yeah, both of you do. I mean, you need someone on your bumper. You need to get locked in and loaded from the get-go. I mean, if it was to end, which it may, Edward Kane would be victorious. I mean, you've been talking about your picks. I like Kane.
Well, Kane was one of the ones I talked about, and Fleming, and look where they are. They're in the top 3.
Yeah.
The only person kind of a dark night has been Rick Thompson. He's been very quiet, but he got up front.
Well, he spent the first half of the race extremely quiet, but when he got there, he made the moves. He made some great moves at him.
Yeah, when he made that move to take the lead, that showed some guts right there. It was a smart decision.
Whew, what a night of racing. Still 3 to go. Who's going to win it? Who earned it? Who can come up and steal it here? Someone else you talked about sitting back here in 7th place, Adam Kulikowski.
Him and Rincon are both right there. All it takes is one good push. Both those guys are there.
Tom Lester on the outside. He's right in this thing. Buskirk out of nowhere. I don't know if we've called his name all night. He's sitting in 9th. Tony Ratliff. This has brought Jason Jackson and Darren Bruce and Derek Whitford back into it. Herb Ashley. Jason Spear, he was your lucky dog.
He playing that perfect timing. Him and Rachel were hooked up, but unfortunately everybody can't get that lucky dog, but that was great timing on his part.
2 to go. Should go green with 1 to go here, Adam. When we talk about restarts, these guys really casual, laid back on the restarts, especially at Daytona. Not this time, Adam.
No, I think you're going to see all guts, no glory right here.
So we got any teammates hooked up? They need to try to get hooked up.
Yeah, I see a little bit of damage on George's car right there, but I don't know. Emmons been a great pusher. Maybe he could push Thompson back out front, but it really depends on, can Kane get a good jump? I mean, if he can and Michael hooks up, there's your winners. But, these things you never know.
You absolutely never know. Pace cars off the track. White flag will be coming out.
Green, green, green.
Green flag down and away. Kane, a good start. The outside looks very organized, though. It's a good job by them. They might have a shot here. They got to wind her up real quick like. Fleming pushing Kane. Inman to the bumper of Thompson. Rincon trying to get up there. Here comes Kulikowski with a head of steam on the bottom. Last straightaway, Kane goes up high. Fleming rubs someone into the wall. Holy smokes. Fleming bouncing off of cars left and right. Oh no, and Beller rubs him out. So Beller gets up into him, and now it's Beller and Kane all alone. Rincon at the back. Here it is. Edward Kane gonna win the Daytona 225. It'll be Darren Bruce in 3rd with Rincon in 4th. Wow.
You like my crystal ball? Look at the top 5 and how many I had.
Listen, this is not about you, Adam.
No, I mean, we got to give it to those guys.
Let's go back and watch a replay here. And I'm going to stop it here for a second. Try and remember, we're going to get on Fleming here and just watch Adam, see what happens. So he's up here alone. Oh, it happens behind him. So he was bouncing around a bit, but it looks like...
That was the first wreck. That was the first wreck. You're still on the wreck where Paul turned around.
Let's go to this one here. And we're a little late to the party here, apparently. So we'll go back up to
you're
Fleming.
allowed to ride the short bus every now and then.
And I'm just going to ride through this and see what happened here, Adam. You see here, Kane goes up. Fleming thinks I'm going to follow him. He bumps Thompson twice, now Beller, and a third time they come together. Beller comes down, and he's thinking, I'm going to scoot in front of you, but he wasn't clear, and he rubs out Fleming, and it's on from there, and all these cars get just smashed up back here. Wow. A lot of good cars get in that. Spear goes through, no problem whatsoever for Mr. Spear. He heads up 8th, Ripka 9th. There's Collins sneaking on by. He'll be in 6th. Lester gets 5th. I mean, my goodness, Adam.
That was a lot of ARCA braking right there in that last wreck.
Well, there's no braking at the end, right? It's like it's a race to the line, and we try and do our best. But Edward Kane comes out of here with the victory, Adam. And, late in the race, Ripka hangs on for 7th, our points leader. That's big for him as well. So, pretty much we had a little bit of everything here. A standard Daytona race, I would call it, Adam.
Well, I mean, yes, but, as I was stating earlier, I had my picks, and to no surprise, they came to the front, but it was a more aggressive race than I've seen in the past.
Well, you think a green-white checker is going to be aggressive? Let's try a one-lap shootout, Adam. So,
yeah, I mean, maybe we need to rethink that sequence.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, when it's one lap, it's...
You got to go for it.
You got to go for it, and it's about contact. You're going to make some extraordinarily risky moves. There's no doubt about it. I thought Kane did a wonderful job along with Beller. I think Bruce, he got awarded this spot, so to speak. Rincon was great here, and Lester and Collins kind of snuck in here with our big movers on the night, up 25 and 23 spots. Of course, Spear late gets the caution he needs and ends up in 8th. Just awesome for some. Austin Inman falls to 15th. That's a bit of a tragedy there. And Rick Thompson ends up a lap down in 17th, Adam.
Yeah, that's a tough break for him for being up front at the end. But, I was very pleased to see how Fleming and Kulikowski, they went for it. And I was good to see.
All right, let's take a commercial break. We'll come back and we'll get interviews in and see what everybody thinks. Here at Daytona. Was a bit of a thrill ride there late in this one, Adam. I mean, final thoughts here. I think Edward Kane earned this victory.
He did. I mean, I give a call out to him. That was excellent strategy. He rode that high side. He worked with his teammate, got himself in position, and brought home the dub. It's great to see him in victory lane.
Yeah, it really is. And let's get into our race interviews here as we bring in the warden, Darren Bruce, with a thrilling 3rd place finish here. Congratulations, Darren.
Yeah, we finally got out of that fuel mileage stuff and had a good race there at the end. I hope y'all liked it.
Well, we certainly did. It was very interesting, Darren, a little bit. Now, we did miss one thing, so I'm going to ask you how you got off the pack there late in the race.
I was, can't remember who I was behind, but the guy behind me, I think it was the 18 car, he kind of split the middle between me and somebody else and put me in a position where I had to live to keep from killing us all.
Okay, well, was
Once,
that
once I got once I got hung out on the outside, I just went straight to the back.
so? That I believe was Austin Inman, if I'm not mistaken. Now that's interesting, Darren, because something I was going to ask you about was earlier in the race. Austin was working with you and everything else, and I know you're not teammates and you barely know Austin, but you left him. And I thought this could come back to haunt you. What do you think about those
And
comments?
uh, that may be true to cause right there. And I know when you're talking about. And at that time, I think it was just me and him on the top. Well, I don't think we had any help from behind. I was like, we're getting ready to get screwed. And I seen a hole and I jumped in it. And
All right, and you seen a foxhole, jumped in it.
yeah.
But hey, Darren, so a great race out here, all in all. Tell us a little bit about these cars first and foremost. I mean, I think the cars were a little unstable in the corners, in particular. It was making it really, really difficult to get good pushing all the whole lap around.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. I think it was some people that was having some issues, maybe need to turn their force feedback down or something so they don't feel the pulling as much. But I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah, well, we did talk a little bit about those settings during the broadcast, and I think they can be a factor. Of course, friends and teammates are a factor, and I think you lost a couple there for a good portion of the race. How did that factor into you?
Yeah, me and Rachel and Troy was up front there just kind of working together, and we got to talking about the fuel mileage, and I was leading, and I knew if I led, there's no way I could make it on one stop, so I had to let some people get in front of me, and we just kind of rode there. And then that first caution, I think Troy and Rachel both got pretty hard licks out of that.
Yeah, it always makes it tough here. And of course, pitting. Darren, we had some, let's say, skeptical pitting here from our perspective up in the booth. We were looking for those 9-second pit stops. We didn't see a lot of it. What was going on in green flag pit road stops here late in this race?
Well, most of the time to make that good, quick green flag pit stop, you just take left side tires and half a tank of gas. But half a tank of gas couldn't get you there. So I went ahead and turned mine up to where I had enough for a green white checker. But I forgot there were no green white checkers. So I took a little, I was sat there just a little bit longer.
Okay, but that makes sense. That's some great information. That's why we've seen 10, 11, and 12-second stops.
Yeah, the 8.5 gallons wasn't going to get you there when we pitted.
Yeah, I should have thought of that, Darren, but you know me, I'm getting old up here in the booth, and you guys made me get a little bit older tonight with some of this racing. It was great to watch, let me tell you, Darren. Congrats, man, and getting back up here and maybe where you deserved to be or better, right? A third place finish, a good points night. You'll close in slightly on Lance in this championship, so big congratulations, man. We'll give you the mic. Anybody you want to shout out?
Hey, I just want to thank, the wind tunnel crowd for the job you do, and the RGR admins for the job they do. And I always got to thank the sponsors, Mike Brown with Alive Church. Sorry Mike didn't get the W. Fat Boys can still win, but I didn't get to win tonight. And I wanted to get a podium when I could wish his wife, Shannon Brown, a happy birthday. So I'm going to wish it to her late. I want to thank my Spear teammates. Some of them had some rough luck tonight. And say hey to my grandkids down in Georgia and thank my wife for letting me do this.
All right, Adam, that's Darren Bruce. And before we say anything more, I want to second that on Mrs. Brown and her birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Yep, happy birthday, Mrs. Brown. And I have the second place finisher down here on pit road, Eric Beller. Man, it looked like you had a shot to win this race, man. Tell us about it.
What's up, big dog? Good to talk to you. Yeah, I mean, run up front most of the night. Race started out pretty crappy though. Everybody was saving fuel, and that caution come out, and that made me happy. So we could go hard the rest of the way. And yeah, I had a shot coming there, and those two cars got together, and I thought they were going to slow down enough for me to jump up top and maybe pass Edward, but I clipped that guy and caused the big one.
Yeah, I had you actually. You were one of my drivers at the beginning of the race. When you watch back the show, I had you as one of the guys to look out for to win this race. You have a phenomenal record here at Plate Tracks, and I thought you were going to be able to get it done. But one of the things we saw up here in the booth tonight, and maybe you can elaborate on this, did your car get loose as the race went on at any point or in the draft? And what was your strategy coming down? 2 4 tires? I mean, what did you think you could have done a little bit differently to get further up?
Hey, I done all I could as far as pit strategy. I never changed tires the whole night. It got a little loose, but it was nothing crazy. It was still comfortable, but no tires all night long.
Wow, man, I am shocked because it looked like a lot of guys, even that took just two, were just super, super loose. But Eric, man, phenomenal finish. Good to see you up here in the top three. I'm gonna give you the floor for shout outs and thank you sponsors and anybody else you'd like to give a shout out to.
Thank you, man. I just want to give a shout out to Alive Church, East Coast Web Printers, Kailu Glass. Thanks for all that they do for our league. And a big shout out to Todd Gilly, my teammate, new teammate Austin Inman. And I was glad to get to race with TJ tonight. He had some misfortune, man. I love racing with that guy.
Man, phenomenal finish, and that was your second place finisher, Dean Eric Beller.
All right, what a night. I mean, all these guys earned it. They had to work for it, and this guy came home with it. The 21, Edward Kane, down in Victory Lane. Congratulations, Edward.
Well, I hope it was as entertaining up there as it was down here, because it was a wild last couple laps.
Boy, oh boy, wasn't it though? I mean, I don't know if we've ever had it before. Edward, let's go right to the ending here. A one-lap shootout. Forget green-white checker. It's just checker. Checker or wrecker, baby.
Yeah, it was complete chaos, and I'm sure I owe Rick Thompson a beer because I throw one or two hellacious blocks on him last 5-6 laps of the race, and but it's white lap, anything goes, and especially with one lap, I knew the run was going to come on the outside, and I figured I threw one block out there and see what happened, and then I kind of don't know what happened behind me, but I just saw a bunch of chaos into three, and here I am.
Yeah, let's just say you guys wanted to settle it between yourselves, you and Eric here, Edward. But nonetheless, I mean, it was thrilling to watch up here. Now, early on, you and Whitford, we've seen this in the past. You guys want to get up to the front, and you do just that. Tell us a little bit about the first catching up and then, getting up there to the front.
Yeah, so about the first 5-6 laps of the race, I think we were going to do the same thing as everyone else, which is I think we were going to kind of play the fuel mileage game here because it looked like we might be able to make it. And then I got together with the 67. I don't know what quite happened there, and I got like 2 seconds off the pace, and I was leading the pack. So I then kind of realized, well, I'm not going to make it on fuel. Let's just go to the outside. But once I got back up to the pack, Derek's my teammate and a friend, and he's like, all right, screw it, let's go. And then we just motored on the outside, and then we got the caution about 25-30 laps in the race, and then fuel mileage wasn't really an issue anymore.
Now, how were you up there on the high side? You guys were willing to race at that point, but not many others were. And I'm not trying to throw them under the bus at all, but it was just early in the race. The Ashley's weren't really pushing; they were behind in that line. Were you guys frustrated up there, or were you content with where you were up there?
Well, like I said, I know everyone was kind of fuel mileage racing until that first caution happened, and then after that, I was happy being on the outside. I know I was going back and forth with Darren for that next little stint, 25-30 laps. And, in these cars, in the Xfinity cars, especially in a fixed setup race, unless you have someone good pushing you or, whatnot, you're just kind of 1 lap you're the leader, 1 lap they're the leader, and you're just kind of just there for a while. So, then you have the pit stops and things kind of string out, and then we got all together. And then, of course, there was the caution with 5 or 6 to go, and that kind of, it was going to be a crazy finish regardless, as we were getting 3 wide even before that. But, when the caution happened, that kind of set up for 1 lap of fury.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about those green flag stops. I brought it up to Darren, and, we were looking at it. We didn't really realize, I should have thought of this, but it looked like some long stops to us, but we weren't thinking about you needed a little more fuel than 8.5 gallons, which would take you into that 8 or 9 second pit stop window. Were you a little surprised how broken everybody was coming off of pit road?
Yeah, I knew my stop was a little long, and lucky when I got out of the pits, I was right behind Rick, I haven't raced against Rick too much recently, but I know he's a good racer. So once it was just the two of us, I mean, I know we had about two-second gaps to that lead pack, but I just stayed on his butt, and we just got all the way there, and we were able to catch up, and then it was just trying to figure out what to do because it's not like Talladega where Talladega you can throw a three wide all the time. You can do it at Daytona, but you got to be real careful and you got to be real trusting on everyone around you. So you don't really want to throw it three wide, or at least we don't really throw it three wide until there's a few laps to go. And we started to do that, and luckily when the caution came out, I had my nose out in front there, and then we got to the end.
Yeah, you did get to the end, Edward. And how big is it for you to be in victory lane? Just tasting the champagne. How good does it feel?
Dean, I'm gonna just take over for a second. I lost my mom yesterday, so it has been a insane week or two, and the last thing I was even thinking about until 8 o'clock tonight was even racing. But I figured, screw it, it's Daytona. I'll come on in here and just kind of not think about things for an hour and a half because I've been dealing with a whole bunch of other stuff, and I just wanted to talk to Nick and Jason and some of the guys. And the fact that I'm in victory lane is just insane to me right now.
Wow, what a story. I mean, I can't imagine. My heart goes out to you. I don't know what I'd do if I lost my mom right now, but it's the power of this community, Edward, to come in here with people you know. And, I mean, perhaps she was guiding you through some of this stuff here tonight, man. I can't be happier for you, man. I give you a big, heartfelt congratulations here on the victory, man. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Edward. Anybody else you'd want to shout out or anything else you'd like to say, please do.
Well, I mean, listen, obviously East Coast Web Printing, Kailu Glass, Alive Church, they allow it so that we can run this league and that, you guys can broadcast and you do a great job. Obviously, my teammates, Nick and Brandon and Derek and Jason, Civil Tech, obviously Edward Kane, CPA, I always, break chops that it's tax season, but, obviously, I always put myself if I can. And, other than that, all I can say is F cancer, and I'll leave it at that. And can't wait to talk to you boys again soon.
All right, Adam, that is Edward Kane, and I'm going to second that and say F cancer for him as well.
I third that. Sorry about his loss. But no better way to honor your family member, mama, daddy, loved one, friend, than to come out and get a win and kick cancer's ass. Cancer sucks.
It does, and it almost makes sense now when I look back at the race, and Edward's car completely clean, seemingly had a shield around it the whole night. Adam, I mean, it just, to me, it's the beauty of what we do. The community, number one. Where did he turn when he wanted some peace and some solace? To Discord and to iRacing and to this group of people. It's so big. I can never overstate it. Me and you use it as well for, many of our problems and whatnot. And community, it's just a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, you came on, talked to his teammates and stuff, and you know, you heard the saying, Jesus take the wheel. I think Jesus and his mom both had the wheel tonight.
Yeah, well, I can't say it any better than that. Quick look in the points. You can see the unofficial point standings. Ripka maintaining a nice gap, but Bruce closed in a little bit. Jackson moves up a couple of spots. What a night, capped off by a great conversation with Edward Kane. Racing with a heavy heart takes home the victory here in the Alive Church Xfinity Series. Live fully alive. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Adam, the Bulldog Newton, that's going to wrap it up from Daytona International Speedway. And we'll see you right here next time.